Yes, one quilt top down, at least 7 more to go. That is my goal. So this next one is going to be made out of charm squares. I have these Tonga treats. There's 2 different sets of charm squares. I have new jelly rolls and pre-cuts coming into the shop towards the end of next week. Oops, I am so excited. Oop, ouch. So on my shop, I also just got these in. These are 60-inch sewing tape measures with centimeters on one side, inches on the other. It's black on silver. Super easy to read, super soft. Love these. These just came in this last week. So, and that's at www.quiltsbydale.com. So, I actually picked all of these up. Ooh, Tonga Treats. Yes, they are Tonga Treats by Timeless Treasures. Okay? And they're called Tonga Treats. Designed by Daniela Stout down in Southern California. Super nice lady. Love her. She has a beautiful shop too. Pretty close to Eleanor Burns' shop down there. They're in the same general vicinity. Not the same town, but they're close. I'm just going to whack these off. These are actually batiks also. Okay, so I have 40 of each stack here. And I'm actually going to do, what am I actually going to do, Richard? I am just going to do a checkerboard fashion for this one, okay? So I'm going to take, just off the top of the stacks, one from each stack and sew them together to start with. Trying to get this, there we go. Over this way, right here. There we go. One from each stack using a 1/4 inch seam. And I'm just going to pick them up and start going with, I'm just going to go for it. Okay. And of course, a charm square are 5-inch squares of fabric. Something I really like to work with these as well. And a great thing about batiks, there's usually not a wrong side. Oh, I see something I just did though. I thought that felt kind of thick. I just sewed, there were 2 layers there of the light, so I get to rip this out now. Yeehaw. My favorite thing to do on a serger is rip out stitches, not. But I have to. Okay, so I'm going to do it my method. There are easier methods, but I'm going to do it the fastest method that I can. Because as soon as I can get at least one layer off, I'm just going to stitch right back over it. And then it's all good. It truly is not any harder to rip out than a traditional seam. It's just a little messier, that's all. There we go. See, easy peasy. It's going to pull off the excess thread now and get going again. Okay. And here we go. Alrighty. I saw my peripheral vision. I saw my coffee cup starting to rotate, wanting to like slowly move to the edge of the table over there. We're not going to let that happen. Okay. And now we're off again. Yes, I was looking to see if I could tell a difference between the sides, and the wonderful thing about batiks, because of the heavy dyeing and everything, if you mess up and do what you might consider the wrong side, there's very little difference between the two. I'm just going to keep on keeping on here. Are you tired of me saying that yet? And once again, I am sewing charm squares together. I had 2 charm packs, and I'm just sewing them together. Each one had 40 squares in it. And right now I'm thinking of just doing like a checkerboard fashion with it. We'll see, that might change here in a moment. Never know. Just lining up the raw edges and feeding them through. Easy peasy sewing. And see, if I wasn't doing this live stream, I would have Netflix on. Don't tune away. You can watch Netflix. Just leave this up running in the background so you can hear me if I scream for help. You know, never know. I might sew the cuff of one of my shirts into this, like right there. Puffy, you just got up. Good morning, sleepyhead. Come here. Come here. Yes. Oops. Come here. Come here, Bubby. Come here. Oh, there you go. Okay, say hello to everybody. Good morning, everybody. Yes, you're just a little wakey, and you're all lovey first thing in the morning, I know. Yes. Yes, he gets so excited in the morning. He'll wake up and I'll already be downstairs and he'll come running and hunting for me. So I have to give it as he sticks his paw in my mouth. Yes, who's a good boy. Yes, you are. Goodness. Goodness, cough up that hairball. There you go, Bubs. There you go. Go play. Okay. So, okay, he's so full of energy. He'll be 8 years old in May, but boy, he is an energetic little puppy. He's my little bubby. I love him to death. Love him more than beans and rice. And here we are. We're serging on some batik charm squares. Okay. Come here, you. Being very careful not to sew 3 layers of fabric together now after my other little snafu. And it is 10 o'clock Central Time. I already have my first quilt top finished over 15 minutes ago. So I am ahead of my internal goal that I have set for myself. And I'm so happy. We'll see if I can keep up the momentum. I'm sure at some point I'm going to start slowing down a little bit, but we'll see. You never know. Maybe I can do more than 8 quilt tops today on this round. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. It would be nice if I didn't. Talking gibberish now. Okay, it's too early in this to be doing that, Richard. Make complete sentences, okay? Okay. I like this color. This is nice. It's a spotted batik, but it's got like, ooh, it reminds me of coffee. I mean, check this out. I really like that one. I'd buy a whole bolt of that. I like that. Okay. Keeping on, keeping on. Doo, 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 doo. The first step in any quilting piecing process seems to always take the longest, and that's okay. It's all good. So let's see, I have 80 charm squares. I don't even know what size I'm going to make this. I hadn't even thought of that. Let me think here. So, 8 times 8. 64. 9 times 9 is 81. So I'm going to go 9 times 9, and I will cut one charm square, one batik. I will cut another square of a batik fabric that will go with this. And then I can make it 9 by 9, which would be, how big? 9 times 4.5. Yeah, it'll be a nice wall hanging size. It's all good. That's what it's going to be, though. Not going to worry about it. No, not going to worry about it. Okay. There we go. Puppy, where are you? Puffy? Okay. Well, he came down and said hello and went back upstairs and went back to bed, I guess. Imagine that. I don't blame him. The bed upstairs, it has an electric mattress pad on it, and he really likes that, especially on these cold days. We film the studio right here where we film. This is on the first floor of our old Victorian home built in 1881. The first floor is also our quilt shop and spinning and weaving shop. We also do sewing machine repairs and services, long arms, sergers, all that stuff. Before I finish this one, I will just go grab a fat quarter out of the shop of a batik fat quarter to cut this extra square that I'm going to need for this little quilt top here. It's another nice, rich, coffee-colored print. Check that out. Okay, so I keep bringing up the word coffee. I wonder if that's like my subconscious telling me to drink more caffeine. I think it is. Okay. Come here, you. There we go. I heard you puffin'. What you doing, bub? Huh? Puffy, come here. There you are. I hear you. I hear your jangles on your collar. Yes, who's my good boy? Good puffin'. Your daddy's good boy. Daddy loves you. Yes, who's my good boy? Okay. Yep, you two win right there. This is a beautiful aqua colored print, batik print. When I get all of these sewn together, I am going to go grab a fat quarter. Because I have to cut one more 5-inch square to make it come out to 9 by 9 squares. That way I don't have any leftovers for this little project here. This might be one that I add a border to. So that being said, do I want a fat quarter or some yardage? Thinking. As I'm sewing on the serger. Okay. Come here, you. Come on. Here we go. Okay. I don't know. What do I want to do here? Let's see. Oh, I've got an extra square for some reason. That can be scary. So I may not need to cut another one then. I'll know when I finish this and do a count. So we shall see. Okay, so I had one square left over. So as long as I have 40 units, then I will have 81 squares, which will be enough to do the method. And all I'm doing here, I'm just cutting my threads and stacking them. It's 3, 4, 5. Look, I can count. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And I should have one more stack of 20, and that would be my 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Did I miscount the first stack? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, I see what I did. Yes, I did it again. I sewed 2 of the colored batiks on, so there's 3 pieces there. So that's why I ended up with more than what I should have. I mean, not enough. So that's not an extra one, so I will have to cut another one. So, that being said, I'm going to cut these out. I'm going to peel up the top layer. See, this is a good lesson that everybody has to rip stitches at some point or another. And this is the second time I've had to rip on this one. So I've already made 2 boo-boos. Okay. I got that started. Now I'm going to peel this up. Come on, you. My fingers aren't wanting to work good this morning. There we go. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. That will make 22 stacks of 20, which will equal 40. Now we'll just sew these 2 back together. And then sew these 2 together. And then I have those 2 40-pack charm squares sewn together. Okay. Alrighty. Now, I need 1 more charm square. I'll be right back. Oops. As soon as I unplugged the microphone from myself. There we go. Actually had a chunk of batik in here on the cutting table. I'm just going to cut me off a 5-inch square off of this. And that will work just fine. Okay. Let's see here. I've been cutting off of this end. So, I'm going to use the 5-inch marks on this ruler. Do a little bit of cutting. Okay. find my smaller one, or I would have used it. Oh, the joys of having too much stuff and never putting it back where it should go, so you can search for it for the millionth time. I'm sure I'm the only one that does that, right? Okay. Now, perfect. So there's my extra. I now can make my little quilt top 9 squares by 9 squares. Okay. Going to check on the... Okay, mouse, where did you go? There you are. Okay. I'm going to check on the chat box before I get started back in. Oh, hi, Dory. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Linda. I know. Sometimes my fingers don't work really well, but... Oh, awesome, Vicky. Just looking. Okay, so we're going to get started back in. Getting ready to go. Hi, Donna. Hi, Donna. All right. So what I'm working on now is using charm squares to make a small quilt. Tanya, I've done that too, and like, what was it I was trying to find yesterday? And it was, oh, I have a little portable scale that to weigh packages on. And I looked and I looked and I looked for it. I needed it by my computer, and Mike found it beside my computer with a piece of fabric on top of it. I just knew I had just buried it in a pile of yarn or fabric somewhere, and I was half right. It happens. Okay, so I've now taken the charm squares, and I have 2 stacks of 20 right here. So what I'm going to end up with is 9 rows of 9. And I'm going to hold on to this until the very end. So right now, I'm just going to get myself, how am I going to do that? I'm going to get 8 rows of 9. Yes, that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to take one piece from each stack, and then I am going to see it, and then that's what I'm going to do. So my first quilt is right here, my first quilt top today, and I'm going to spread it out a little better. I did this one in approximately an hour and 45 minutes. And I'm just going to hang it up over my screen here. That is quilt top number 1 for the day. There we go. So there's quilt top number 1 right there. Okay. So I'm going to get back and get this one done. What time is it? It's only 10:22. You know what? I think I can have this one done by 11:15. I'm setting a new goal for myself. When I planned this, I thought, well, I will shoot for making a quilt top every 2 hours. So far, I'm ahead of that schedule. This one should put me even better ahead, I think. So I'm just going to alternate the light and the dark blocks. Okay. I'm going to do it checkerboard fashion. And quite honestly, I will probably end up putting some type of a little border on this after the fact. I don't know yet. I'm just going to leave it as is for right now. And that's right. Is that right? Yes. Okay, let me think here what I just did. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. These two would go together next. Right. I want to keep them pretty close to the same because I have the way I'm going to mix them. We'll see how well that goes. Try to be consistent when I do this. At least for each step. I'm not going to worry about the big picture because with a serger, I go for serendipity. What happens, happens. Come here, you. There we go. And once again, I will not press between each step. Pressing comes after the fact when I do it, when I do these types of quilt tops on a serger. That first quilt top was made entirely out of scraps. I have a scrap bag of 2.5-inch strips. When I get down to like a quarter or half a yard or whatever on a bolt, I will just cut it up into 2.5-inch straps and put them into a big bag to use in some type of project later, and those were dug out of that. My next one I'm going to do after this one is another one for my scrap bag. I think I'm going to do that one after that. I'm not sure yet. My shipment of jelly rolls I ordered for the shop have not come in yet. I have some jelly rolls that are red, white, and blue. This would be a great way to do patriotic themed colored quilts for Quilts of Valor or Wounded Warrior. I was hoping I would have those in before today so I could have got some of those made up. But that just didn't happen, and that's okay. There'll always be a future event to sew them all together on. Okay. So So does anybody out there, are you into anything like wool applique, or do you like to work with wool fabric in your quilt making or anything? Just curious. Tell you, I love piecing quilt tops on a serger. You never have to wind a bobbin. It makes it worthwhile doing it on a serger if for no other reason than just for that alone. And it's fun. It's also very accurate. This way. There we go. There we go. Don't want to mess up my chi. There we go. I almost did something where I'd have to rip stuff out again. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't like ripping out stitches. Although on a serger, you just need a good pair of scissors. You just cut them. So I think it's a little easier to rip out on a serger, quite honestly, than it is a sewing machine. Because A, your stitches are not as tiny on a serger as they are on a sewing machine. There's no need for it. God, those are so close, but it goes like this, I think. Is that right? You look at this again here. That is correct. Should be right here. Right here. Okay. And there. And here. Open sesame. Open the uppy. And it goes like this. Okay. There we goes. Okie dokie. And there's round 2 for this one. Now I should end up with 2 stacks of 10. Let's see, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and stack 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yeehaw. Yeehaw. Alrighty. Now I'm going to sew those together again, one from each stack, and then that will give me rows of 8, right? Yes. And then I'll have to think about it for a minute. So, here we go. No, I asked about wool quilts. I think they're beautiful. I love wool applique. Talk about texture. Okay. Make sure I do these kind of sort of just alike so it doesn't throw my theoretical pattern off here. Okay, that's what I did. Okay, that's good. Okay. Oop, right here. There we go. Right there. Oh, thank you, Dory. And excuse me. Dun, dun. Oh well. So much fun. Oh. Puffin's here somewhere close. Hey, Puffy. There he comes. Come here, Bubby. Come here, boobs. Come here. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Oh. Oh. Someone wanted to say hello to the puppy. There he is. You're looking at yourself. Yes, you are. You're looking right into the camera. You're a good dog. Yes. Hi, Marion. This is my good boy. Okay. Oh. He hears Mike getting ready to come downstairs, which means walkies. It's interesting. Our little guys, our little puppies, they're like these little creatures of habit. You know what I mean? They have their own little schedules and all that fun stuff. He first came down when I got up, so he knows, he's figured out that if he plays it just right, he might get double fed. We learned that one pretty quick because he played that really, really good. I would feed him when I'd get up, and then he'd go back upstairs and go to bed, and then get up when Mike got up. And then if Mike and I didn't communicate first thing, sometimes he would get double breakfast, which he loved that. But we caught on to that little trick pretty quick, so that doesn't work anymore. Okay, there is step number 3 done. Woohoo. Okay, so let's see. I need 2 stacks of 4. 1, 2, 3, I think 4. Let's see. And what? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and these 2 is what will be 2 of my outside rows to square it up to 9 by 9. So I'm just setting those 2 to the side. Now, we get to sew the long rows of 8 together. Okay. And if I did this right, it will be the lightest colors with the mid to darkest colors and brightest. It will create a checkerboard. So, quarter-inch seam, okay. And now I'm not going to do any pinning because I was really consistent with my seams. All I'm going to do is just line them up as they come over the bed of the serger. And when I line them up right here, they've matched perfectly. And then I'm going to flip the top seam towards the serger, and they'll lock in together. Easy peasy. That's all there is to it. And sometimes I don't lock them in together because honestly, you really don't need to with this. As long as the 2 seam lines line up. Once they get under that foot, they're not going nowhere. And guess what? It's trimming off all my thread tails from where I was piecing. And that lined up perfectly. So I'm just going to pull this off of here. Just open it up and show you just how nicely those come together. Look at that. Without any pinning or anything. So it's another thing I love about the serger. You really get super consistent seams. And that's the key. that is a key to having everything come out nice and square. So now I'm going to do 2 more together. And you know, I use it, depending on what I'm making, if it's something really intricate, I will pin and press it every step of the way. But sometimes you just want to make a quilt that you don't have to do that on, that you don't have to be so fussy with. Another thing I love, truly love about piecing with the serger. And another one. So I've only got like 4 sets of these to sew together, which is totally cool. Next, after this one, I'm going to get another set of jelly roll strips, and I'm going to make a rail fence on the serger. And what that is, it will require me to get up and do some cutting. But you'll see just how fast you can do a rail fence. If you're wondering what a rail fence is, check it out on Pinterest. You sew strips together and then you cut them down into square blocks. And then the way you rotate them, it'll make like a zigzag steps going down on the diagonal from corner to corner in the quilt. That's what a rail fence is. That's next up past this one. Okay. No, we don't want to sew the 2 long strips together so it makes a longer strip. I'm doing my side seams now. There's that set done. Now, 1, 2, I'll have 2 stacks of 2 to sew together. 1 from each stack. That keeps them mixed up. Okay. there's one. I'm going to take the top one from the other stack and sew it together right here. I have not pre-planned how these are going, the colors are going to lay next to each other or anything. That's the serendipitous part of it. And another one. And another one. Right here. Is that right? Nope, that's not right. Have I made a boo-boo? Why didn't that one? Hold on here. What's up with this? Did I have something flipped? Let me think. I think I got something out of whack. So let me just check this out for a minute here. There's that. I want these two together here. Right? No. No. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this a little bit different way. I got something slightly out to kilter. So it's a good thing I still have two full strips over here. So I'm going to take this piece I've got here and add one to it. I know I get confused really easily, everybody, in case you have not figured that out yet. Okay, so this one, will that line up there? No. No. So I'm going to add that onto this side over here. R matey. No. Okay, so what about this one then? I will get it figured out here in just a moment. That will work on that side, right there. Okay, that's where that's going. Right there. Okay. I'll just have to add a strip. I might add another 8-inch strip to what I'm piecing here to make it 9 rows, 9 blocks, 9 rows, and I'll straighten it out with that step. In the meantime, we got to keep on serging on. Keep on serging. Surgeon. Surgeon USA. Oh my goodness. I now know I'm caffeine deficient when I start saying stuff like that. Okay. Now. I need another row. I need to get this thing to fit. Will you fit on here now? Not that way. And not that way. So, okay. I now know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sneak a strip in between these two to make it come out. Can I do that? Yes, I can, because I have two of these. So, that will join those two pieces that somehow I got out of kilter. So I'm going to sew this one onto here. Okay. Come here. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now, when I bring this up, those will now meet. Yeehaw. How many strips do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can go ahead and sew this on now. Hey, I've only got 3 seams left and this one will be done. I'm making it this size because that is the last of those charm square packs I had to make it come out. So yes, I'm going to call this done once I get all of these charm squares sewn together out of those 2 charm square packs that coordinated with each other. And then I'll decide later on down the road, if I want it bigger, I will have to cut some batiks that would blend with this to make it bigger, but don't know that I'm going to do that. We'll see. You never know. You just never know. Okay, back to the end of row of that. Okay, now I'm going to add 1 row across here. So there'll be these darker colors in all 4 corners that way. So I'm going to take my other strip that I have, and here is, out of my stash, a batik I just cut to add to that. I'm going to sew these together right here. Now the great thing about having batiks in a stash, they work, you can always add to your batik stash and the colors will work with each other every single time. So do I want that there? I'm putting too much thought into this. Nope, I want it like that. Okay. So, last row. last row. I'm just going to go over this one part of the seam where I wavered a little bit. Right there. I mean, this is being way too picky. Richard, this is being way too picky. Sorry, I just had an OCD moment. There we go. Okay, I can deal with it now. I can cope with it now. But quilt top number 2. Right here. This would make a very cute little quilt top to quilt and put over a table. Okay, quilt top number 2.